Hello,
Hi, everyone.
I'm Denise, and this is Mallory, and welcome to the Dover Public Library podcast. There. And today we're going to talk about fantasy and sci-fi books. What is the difference between a science fiction book and a fantasy book, Mallory?
Magic and technology is the big difference.
Oh.
So, a lot of times with fantasy books, you might have things in the past, but you might not. You might have dragons or fairies or lots of magical folk, witches and werewolves and vampires.
Kind of like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. People are probably very familiar with that,
Yes.
and that would be a fantasy.
Yes. And then with science fiction, it might be close to the modern time, it might be in the future. A lot of times it has to do with science, but like weird science, or some things are hard science where it's like, this is, if we could figure out this thing, we could time travel, or we could travel to different planets.
It's not just space.
It is not just space, although, space is a big deal in science fiction. Space or like genetics, bioengineering, all kinds of crazy stuff.
And some of the science fiction is not serious, though. It can be
Right.
funny.
Yes.
One author that Mallory told me about is Martha Wells, and this is a couple of her books. It's a whole series. It's the Murderbot series. Number one is always out, and number two is pretty much out too because it's deals with space, but it's funny in a sense. That
Very funny.
Yeah,
Very relatable too.
yes, the robot is kind of like an ornery teenager. He just wants to stay in his little cubicle and watch content, videos. What kind of fantasy, sci-fi is there besides just space and, werewolf stuff?
All kinds. So I have a couple of books to show you guys. So she was talking about humor. So the Murderbot Diaries is very humorous, very action adventure. They tend to be shorter books. So like if you're not sure if science fiction is your thing, this is one that I introduced to a lot of people because it's easy to get into, it's fast paced, and it doesn't get bogged down with all of the sci-fi details. Another one that's super funny is this book, Starter Villain by John Scalzi. Very humorous.
Like,
Lots of crazy shenanigans. Scalzi always writes great humor, all different types of science fiction books. Let's see. You might have something that's like a cozy mystery science fiction. So this one, it's a real thin one. Murder by Memory. Super cozy. You're solving a mystery. It's great.
why is it considered fantasy? Because it's
This one's a science fiction.
science fiction.
Yes,
Okay.
so this one, they've basically figured out how to get rid of permanent death, where these people, they're traveling on a colony ship to a planet in a distant solar system. It's a 1,000-year journey, and as people age and grow old and die naturally, their memories are preserved and re-uploaded into a new body. So interesting. Not super dystopian though. It actually takes a very positive look on science.
Good.
And then this one is a fantasy mystery, The Hexologist. It has kind of, I want to say, a 1930s feel with that level of technology, but also mixed with magic and magical creatures. And it's about a couple that are solving mysteries together.
And this is book one, and this also is part of a series. And this is book one. What we do is we label up here so that when you pick a book and you really like it, you know that this is a first one in a series. You can go back to the shelf and, pick the next one. And we also put this little sticker on there that means that it's science fiction.
If you see it close, it's a little dragon. But yeah, science fiction and fantasy get this dragon
This
sticker.
means like large print. We have one for mystery. All that helps the patron to be able to, know what they're looking for. What other things are in this whole dynamic?
Okay, so romantasy is very popular right now.
Romantasy.
Yes, so strong romantic vibes, lots of drama, but with fantasy. things. So this one is about an assassin and a healer and how they're with two different clans and how they get together and work together and behind everybody's backs. So it's nice. And then if you like horror, this one is a science fiction horror.
Oh.
So if you like the scary stuff, this one will leave you on the edge of your seat and will raise the hair on the back of your neck.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
If you're more into gothic, classic type things, this Lucy Undying is a vampire story. And so if you were a fan of Dracula, this has kind of that vibe, a kind of relationship to that story. So you might check this one out.
Dracula.
And then if you're into...
This is super popular. Yes.
If you're into big, epic stories, Brandon Sanderson. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is huge.
That's a doorstop book, I call it, you know.
So this one is number 4 in the Stormlight Archive, and he tends to blend science fiction and fantasy together. And he makes really detailed magic systems, really detailed worlds, great characters. So if you want something in for the long haul, try this.
Yes. For days when it's going to be raining and you want to just sit with a cup of tea. And he's quite a popular author, too. Yeah. Is he still writing today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's constantly writing.
Good.
And then this is one of my favorite series, Mercy Thompson by Patricia Briggs. So this one is number 12. Ooh. So this is not the most recent either. There's quite a few. But it is about, if you're like more modern paranormal type things, this is what's called urban fantasy. So it's set in our world, so this is very familiar, but it kind of has a little bit of alternate history going on where werewolves and vampires exist and fae folk exist, not the pretty fairies, like the creepy monsters in there. They all exist, as well as Native American creatures. So the main character, she is a car mechanic named Mercedes Thompson, and she is also a shapeshifter. She turns into a coyote. Yes, and it's about how she's involved with all of these different paranormal communities, and it has lots of mystery in it.
So are they solving crimes, or what are they?
Yeah, there's usually like crimes or kidnappings, or someone's trying to take over someone else's territory, or something important and deadly has been stolen. So she is often like in the thick of it, and she's not like a super powerful character, but she is smart and she's determined and she gets in and out of scrapes.
A very strong woman.
Yes.
All right.
All right. And then I want to put this in. So this is a very popular series, Dungeon Crawler Carl. You've probably heard of it. It is what's called a portal fantasy. So it's where something happens and you end up in a world that is not your own. So this one, these books are pretty thick, not as thick as Stormlight Archive, but there are many, and we have like, let me see, where was that? We have 7 right now, but the 8th one is coming out. And these are not staying on the shelves. So definitely check this one out. It's also humorous. It's kind of got like an Aliens, but also video game type feel where these people and a magical cat are trying to survive this game. So kind of almost like Hunger Games style where people are watching this. So it's pretty exciting.
Would you call Hunger Games fantasy, a romantasy, or science fiction? All three?
I would call that a dystopian novel.
Oh, okay.
So it is kind of a blend of science fiction and alternate history, but it falls into the dystopian category of a government that has gone off the rails. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you have questions about all of this, you can always ask Mallory here at the Dover Library. Stephen, he would know things like that. Elise, Eloise,
yeah.
She would know, correct? All right. I am not that savvy on them. I mean, I can point to the few that I have read, but definitely the ones that you showed me are very interesting. I think I would like to read. What book are you reading now, right now?
Oh, gosh, I just started one called The Verge, but I'm listening to it on audiobook. So with your library card, you have access to Libby, which is an e-library, and it has audiobooks, it has ebooks that you can listen on your phone or your iPad or anything like that.
Mhm.
And so I am listening to an audiobook on called The Verge, and it's a science fiction book. And I have just started it, so I don't know that much to tell you. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Even though 2026 has just started, we're in like March. What's your favorite book so far this year?
Oh
Have you got a favorite
gosh.
one?
Now I wish I had been asked this before, so
Oh,
I'd
sorry.
prepared. Oh my gosh. Okay, so oh
Maybe one from your book club?
yeah, I think so. Actually, the one I'm reading right now is pretty exciting, but the one we read last month is also like exciting. So I'll tell you about the one from last month. We read The Guest List, and that was by Lucy Foley, and it is about all these people who are coming to this wedding, and there are secrets, and don't start getting murdered till the very end.
Oh,
So you don't know who's going to die. You know someone's going to die. You don't know who's going to die. You don't know who's going to be the killer. And let's just say you are rooting for the person who dies to die by the
oh,
end because you find out all of this dirt on them and you're just like, oh, wow,
he
okay,
needs to.
yeah.
Now, you discussed this for your book discussion. Can you say a little bit about your group that you meet and when you meet and what you read?
Yeah. So it is a mystery book club. That means we just read mysteries, but they can be any type of mystery. They could be cozy, they could be thrilling,
And we
they
should
could
have to
be,
do that in another podcast, explaining about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But we have a pretty big group. We meet in the community room on the fourth Monday of the month at 6 o'clock, and we meet for about an hour. We talk about the author, the book, all the different twists and turns that were in it, what surprised us. It is a very fun discussion.
And you can say in the discussion if you liked the book or you didn't like it. And book discussions are kind of remind me of a book that you normally would not pick up, but you pick it up and then you find you enjoy it and then you want to read others by that author.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you want to add about science fiction?
Oh, yes. If you haven't tried science fiction, check with me because if you like a different genre, I can point you into a fantasy or sci-fi book that also blends with the genres you enjoy. So there's a lot of crossovers between the genres with this. So yeah, come talk to me.
All right. Well, if you have any comments, you can leave them below or come to the library and track down Mallory and she can help you out. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.